Hey Bladers, it's Frost, aka the Competitive Gamer, and I'm back with another Let's Talk Beyblade. Alright, so I guess I'll call it episodes. Last episode, we discussed some of the things in which the organized play has been discussing with regards to allowing the use of multiple stadiums. Things such as how many stadiums can an organizer use at their event, whether they want to use XYZ stadium during one stage and use Z stadium during the final stage. So things of that nature. And we also discussed which stadiums can be used in a ranked event, and some of the other things such as allowing stadiums from specific series as to the same event. So today I think we're gonna go ahead and discuss, let's say, spinning and video replays. As to me, spinning and video replays really go hand in hand. A lot of the times, video replays, or I guess I can get away with saying the majority of the time, video replays are only used when a spin finish is in question. The only other time I can think of using video replays is maybe in the case of a double KO, but that one, even without a replay, is really easy to determine who was KO'd first, as just from physics. Whichever pocket, wherever the Beyblades were closer to, the Beyblade near that pocket was probably KO'd first, as the other one has a further distance to travel. So before we start, I do want to say, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you purchase Beyblades, there is a link in the description for gaming. That's mostly where I get my Beyblades from, and there is a 5% discount code to for gaming. I guess speaking from my experience with getting Beyblades from for gaming, I do get them really fast. And granted, I am in the Carolinas, and that is where for gaming is, but I do know people in other states who do also agree that the shipping with for gaming is fast. So yeah, if you like to get Beyblades and you like getting discounts, there's a code in the description, and I do get a % of that, just so you guys are aware of that. All right, so let's go ahead, and what I'll do first is I'll give the spin definition, and let's actually get some Beyblades going. So I actually have them ready this time, or one of them. Let me find. Let's go with World. So hopefully these don't make as much noise. Bad choice with Orbit Metal. All right, so the current definition of spinning, and I don't have it in front of me, so hopefully I get this right. Per the WBO, a Beyblade is considered spinning as long as it is visibly, I want to say, rotating along the axis running directly through the center of the Beyblade, faster than it's rotating along the stadium floor. And that part of the definition right there is where a lot of questions come into play as to whether a Beyblade is spinning or rotating. And what I'll do, I'll just put a different driver on there. And you know what? Let's just let that spin there by itself. So yeah, that part of the definition is really where a lot of the questions and a lot of the need for video replays come into play. So the rest of the spinning definition for the WBO is that I believe a complete rotation is not needed for a Beyblade to be considered spinning. And also there's a part in the definition that says that there are actually parts that allow for the top half of a Beyblade to continue rotating after, say, the bottom half has stopped. And when it comes to those parts, the Beyblade is still considered to be spinning. And honestly, I think a lot of people forget about that part of the definition when they make some of their judgments on whether a Beyblade was still spinning or rotating or not. I can say most likely I've disregarded that part of the definition at some point in time, as it is one that a lot do forget. So that is the current definition of spinning. And as with the use of multiple stadiums, there's been a lot of threads about spinning on the WBO website. And saying that now, I think what I will do in the future is for any of these videos in which there is a thread on the WBO, I think I'll go ahead and put that thread in the description. That way, if you guys want to further discuss any of the things I say in these videos, you can go to that thread and sort of put those discussions in there. And I will look at those at least once a week. I'll look at those threads to see if there's anything in there that you guys may want me to respond to. And you guys can always, I guess the word is tag me in any of the posts you guys make, and I will get a notification on those, so I'll know that, hey, go look at this. All right, so one of the definitions which was suggested from the community was to say that a Beyblade is still considered spinning, let me see, as long as it is visibly rotating in the direction it was launched. And there was some part about free spinning parts of the bay are ignored in regards to this. So a lot of the definitions, I'm just gonna say, a lot of them are trying to get the WBO to be closer to the WBBA's definition of spinning. So as far as what have we been discussing within organized play with regards to our definition of spinning, we have been discussing changing that definition, as it is a headache for a lot of people to deal with, and it does make matches really, really long. So we've gone through several iterations of the definition, trying to get out a definition that is very simple and to the point and does what we want it to do with regards to determining if a Beyblade is spinning or not. So one of the things that we did look at first is, of course, do we want to get closer to the WBBA's ruling? And also, a lot of times, a lot of the matches are, and I'm going to quote, hyper analyzed. When in reality, if you just look at it in real time, you can really just tell which one won the match or not. But it is that definition of rotating around the stadium floor, etc., that, again, I do believe causes a lot of issues. So the definition that we've been sort of discussing is really simple, and it is: a Beyblade is still considered spinning as long as it is moving in the same direction that it was launched in. And if a Beyblade at any point in time stops spinning and starts spinning again, then the battle does not resume. Once the Beyblade stops spinning, it stops spinning. So that is one of the definitions. We had some further discussions on things such as plastics, and I'm not very familiar with plastics, as I did not play in that, I guess in that era or age, whichever one it is. I did not play plastics. However, there is discussion on some of the plastic Beyblades. I believe the top half of them can continue to spin while the bottom half isn't, or that might be vice versa. Either way, the updated definition that we've sort of been discussing is that a Beyblade is still considered to be spinning as long as the top half of it is visibly spinning in the same direction that the Beyblade was launched in. And the rest of the definition is the exact same. If a Beyblade stops spinning and then starts spinning again, then the match does not continue. Once a Beyblade stops spinning, then the match is over. So that there is the definition that we've been playing around with. Let me know what you guys think of that definition. Do you think it simplifies the whole spinning and rotating, as it's really hard for a Beyblade to be rotating without spinning? But if you watch video replays, you can see that. So what does this definition do? In my opinion, I think this definition change makes it so that when Beyblades sort of do this little thing where they stop and they sort of wobble around like that, a lot of those are wins for that Beyblade by that definition. So it takes away the need for video replays. And on the note of taking away the need for, I'd say it takes out the majority of the need for video replays. Something else that we've been discussing is video replays And just to be forward and I guess transparent, one of the things that we discussed is maybe banning video replays. Should video replays be banned? Should we say that judges should make the call based on what they see? So yeah, that is one thing we discussed. I think for the most part, our discussions have been leaning towards we can't really ban anyone from recording. That's just not possible. People can always just take out their phones and record. So one of the things we've actually thought about is saying, hey, it's up to the organizer to determine if they want the judges to use recordings when determining if a Beyblade won or not. So with sort of that discussion, an organizer could say, hey, we're not using video recordings at my tournament. If one of the judges says that Beyblade won, then that Beyblade won. Or a judge can say, hey, we're going to use recordings, but we're only using the judge's recording. As if you guys have watched some of my tournament videos, you hear a lot of times people mentioning like, hey, there's like 7 cameras on this match, and that's not an overstatement. There's literally 7 people with their phones on the match, and if it comes down to a not knowing who won by a spin finish, there are some players who want you to look at every single recording, all 7 phones from all the different angles. And not to call any players out, well, I won't call any players out, but those same players will only want to use one video which shows them winning as the video to use, as opposed to videos that may show their opponent winning from a different angle. So personally, I think that if something like this is to be implemented, the organizers should say, hey, we're only using that judge's phone, or whoever's phone, whoever the judges say they want to record the video, we're only using that device, as opposed to using every single device or looking over every single device. Now, that will cause some problems, possibly, as at least for the tournaments that I host, a lot of times the parents are also recording, and everyone knows parents can be very adamant about their kids, and everyone wants their kids to win, so that can present a problem there. However, that is sort of where we are on allowing video recordings in our discussions on spinning. So yeah, if you like these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and all of that other good stuff. Thanks.